Hello everybody, welcome back to another Mystic Islands video. We are getting so close to the tournament date, which is July 3rd at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I just want to remind you guys of that. It is on untap.in, and we're going to be trying to get as many people as we can on there. If we get less than 8, we're going to do a round robin tournament, so each player will just play every other player and then get points based on how many wins you got. The Game Crafter, after almost a full month, finally got me my package, which is the prize cards for you guys. So I got the Bronze Doubloon right here. Banish the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 crystal to your stash. The Silver Doubloon right here. Banish the top 2 cards of your deck and add 1 Chaos Crystal to your stash. And the Golden Doubloon, which is banish the top card of your deck, add 1 Chaos Crystal to your stash. So it just progressively gets a little bit better as you go. They're very good cards, and these are going to be the prize cards for the tournament. So third place is going to get the bronze, second place is going to get the silver and the bronze, and then first place is going to get gold, silver, and bronze. But yeah, these will be tournament exclusive only. If you ever want to get these cards, this is the only way to get them, is through this tournament. I will be having more tournaments in the future if this one goes smoothly, and these cards will be available then, but that is the only time. They're not going to be available in any set or booster pack or deck or anything like that. Moving on from that, this video is actually dedicated to the people who don't know how leaders work yet. Now, I think I've explained them very briefly before, but I have not explained them all the way in their own video, I don't believe. I might be wrong. Either way, this will be an updated video explaining them. Here's a handful of leaders right here: Azrael of Rebirth, Mistress of Magic, and King Edwards. Now, these bad boys are leader cards. As you can see, they have the yellow symbol at the bottom. Hard to see this one right here. But essentially, the yellow color means it's the leader rarity, meaning you can only have one in an entire deck. Now, each leader has its own faction, of course, and it has to match one of the factions of at least one card in your deck. It doesn't have to be a creature, it can be an ability card, but it has to match at least one of those. So, Mistress of Magic, I would have to have at least one mage card in my deck. For King Edwards, I need at least one royalty card in my deck. And for Skeleton, I would need one skeleton card in my deck. Now, where things change a little bit from set 1 to set 2, which might have confused a few people, is set 1 right here. All the leaders had their costs right up here with a bar separating all of their skills. So right here, King Edwards either costs 6 Chaos Crystals or 9 health. In set 2, this changed slightly. As you can see, I just moved it into the bar up there, so there's more space for text in the text box, and it's a little bit easier to read, stands out a little bit more. So Mistress of Magic actually costs almost the same, 6 Chaos Crystals or 10 health, and then there's more room for text in the box, so that way we could have leaders with better effects and more in-depth effects as well on the card. Besides that, no major differences between these two types of cards in set 1 and 2. So that answers the question of how do you play them. You cost them. They actually tell you the cost right here. You can either pay them for crystals or health and then just cast them right from hand. Each leader also has a unique defense value per each leader. So King Edwards right here is 10 health, or 10 defense you could say. Mistress of Magic has 11 health, and then Azrael also has 11 health. This is the amount of damage that they can take before they die. In addition to that, the most valuable part about a leader is actually its effects. So obviously you can see the effect boxes right here. So leaders, as they're on the battlefield, untapped of course, they can do any of the effects in the red here. Pay for them with either Chaos Crystals, which would be CC, or you could tap the leader as well. And that way it does whatever effect that the text box says. So King Edwards, if I tapped him, I could put a +0, +1 defensive counter on all royalty faction creatures for this turn only. Once King Edwards is tapped though, you cannot do the rest of the effects. If you want to do multiple effects, I would do the Chaos Crystal effects first and then do the tapping last. That way you got all your effects in. So for instance, 1 CC stands for 1 Chaos Crystal, and target caster would gain 2 health. If you pay 2 CC, which is 2 Chaos Crystals, add 1 health to this leader. It's always good to have a leader in your deck. After this leader is tapped, it is unable to defend any damage. So if your opponent has 5 creatures up and they are attacking and your leader is tapped, your leader cannot soak up any of that damage until next turn when your leader becomes untapped again, and then you can leave them up to play a little bit of defense. Now this is the confusing part about leaders that people struggle to understand because it's a little bit finicky. I'm going to start off by explaining where the leader goes on the battlefield first. So let's say these two cards are actually my creatures. I got one untapped and one tapped right here. If I have Mistress of Magic in hand, as long as I pay one of the costs, either 6 Chaos Crystals or 10 health, cast from hand, it's actually going to go behind the creatures, visible to all players. This is for consistency so that we know that there's a leader, because sometimes they can get mixed in and it gets a little bit confusing for everybody. So keep them behind the creatures is a good rule. If a leader is out and untapped and there are creatures on your battlefield, doesn't matter if they are both tapped, if there's only one and it's tapped, or if they're both untapped, as long as there's a creature on your battlefield, no matter what, this leader cannot take direct damage from your opponent's creature unless you allow it to. So let's say this is your creature tapped and this is your opponent's creature, doesn't really matter what value. Let's say it's a 3/3, why not? They're trying to attack, they declare attack on you. Because you have a creature, you get to choose if you want that 3 damage to hit your leader or if you want that 3 damage to hit you. Now on the other hand, let's say you don't have a creature. Now your leader, because it is untapped, if it was tapped, you still wouldn't be able to affect the leader whatsoever. But because the leader is untapped with no creatures on the battlefield to protect them, your opponent then decides, instead of you, where the damage goes. So let's say you have 3 health left, they can just attack you instead of the leader if they wanted to. I know this is a little bit confusing, so if anybody needs help, please hit me up on Discord and I'll be writing the official rulebook out. I've gotten very delayed on that, I'm sorry about that, but that will be coming out soon. I'm definitely working on it. So yes, if a leader is all alone, untapped, they are subject to take damage by creatures, by your opponent's power. If you have a creature, you get to choose if you want to take damage with the leader or your health. Quickly, I'll go over the sacrifice effect right here. So that might be a little bit confusing the first time you see it because it's not too common. But this basically means you sacrifice your leader, throw it in the graveyard, and then you do the effect. So cast target creature worth 4 or less from your graveyard for free. Pretty good trade-off right there. Sacrifice your leader on very low health and get probably a 4/4 or something even stronger out. So yeah, thank you guys again for watching this video. I know that there was some confusions on leaders. Anything you need help with the rules or making a deck or anything like that, please hit me up on Discord, and please join the Discord to join the tournament. Let me know, just send me a DM or put it in the official chat. There's a good chance I'm going to record all the games in the tournament. We're probably going to go one by one so I can record them. And I will be posting them up on the channel, probably a big highlight video and then them separately because why not? But thank you guys so much for all of the support. I think we're at 325 subs right now. I really appreciate the support. You guys are the best fans I could ask for. And I'm going to see you guys in the tournament. Peace out.